Razia, whose full name was Razia Sultan Jalalat ud-Din Razia, was the daughter of Iltutmish and the first Muslim ruler of India. In his last days, Iltutmish was worried about the question of his succession. Iltutmish's eldest son, Nasiruddin Mahmud, who was ruling Bengal as his father's representative, died in April 1229 AD. The remaining surviving sons of the Sultan were in no way fit for governance. So Iltutmish, from his deathbed, appointed his daughter Razia as his successor. He convinced his nobles and ulema to do so. Though women had ruled as queens in ancient Egypt and Iran, and had also managed the affairs of the state when the ruling princes were young, choosing a woman for the throne in the presence of sons was a new step. The chieftains of Iltutmish's court were unhappy with this decision. They considered bowing before a woman to be against their pride. They violated the wishes of the deceased Sultan and placed his eldest son Ruknuddin Firoz Shah on the throne, who had been the ruler of Badaun during his father's lifetime and Lahore a few years later. This choice was unfortunate. Ruknuddin was completely unfit for governance. He had low tastes. He neglected state affairs and wasted the state's wealth. Matters were worsening due to the actions of her mother Shah Khan, an ambitious lady of low origin. She seized all power while her son Ruknuddin indulged in sensual pleasures. Disorder spread throughout the kingdom. The authority of the central government was despised in Baro, Multan, Jhansi, Lahore, Awadh and Bengal. The Delhi chieftains, seething with discontent at the undue influence of the Queen Mother, imprisoned her and placed Razia on the throne of Delhi. Ruknuddin Firoz, who had taken refuge in Lokri, was put in prison where he died on the 9th of November 1266. To consolidate her position, Razia had to face not only her own brothers but also powerful Turkish chieftains, and she could rule for only 3 years. Though the period of her rule was very short, it had many significant aspects. With the rule of Razia, a conflict started between the emperor and the Turkish chieftains called Chahalgani. No task was easy for the young Begum. The state's Wazir Muhammad, Junaidi and some other chieftains could not tolerate the rule of a woman, and they gathered opponents against her. But Razia did not lack all the qualities important for governance. By cleverness and superior diplomacy, she soon defeated her enemies. She established her authority over Hindustan and Punjab, and the rulers of the distant provinces of Bengal and Sindh also accepted her supremacy. From Lucknow to Deval and Damrila, all the Malik and Amirs professed their obedience to her. At the beginning of Razia's reign, an organized attempt was made by certain heretics of the Kiramit and Ahmadiyya sects, led by a Turk named Nuruddin, to foment trouble. 1,000 of their men arrived with swords and shields and entered the big mosque on a certain day. But they were dispersed by the royal army and the rebellion ended in an ugly failure. However, peaceful rule was not in the fate of the Begum. She started showing undue favor to Jalaluddin Yaqut, an Abyssinian slave. She gave him the high post of the head of the stable. Enraged by this, the Turkish chieftains got organized in a small union. Their fondness towards the Abyssinians was criminal. First of all, the ruler of Sirhind, Ikhtiaruddin Altunia, openly revolted, which was being instigated secretly by some chieftains of the court. The Begum marched with a large army to suppress the revolt. But, in this war, the rebel chieftains killed Yaqut and imprisoned the Begum. She was put under the protection of Ikhtiaruddin Altunia. Razia tried to get rid of this situation by marrying Altunia, but it proved futile. She proceeded towards Delhi with her husband. But on reaching near Kaithal, Altunia's supporters deserted her, and on the 13th of October 1240, Muzuddin Baram defeated him. The next day Razia was murdered along with her husband. Thus, after a reign of 3 years and a few months, Razia Begum's life came to an end painfully. After the death of Razia, for some time there was disorder. Her successors on the throne of Delhi, Muzuddin Baram and Alauddin Masood, were inept and incompetent. During their 6 years of rule, there was no peace and stability in the country. External invasions further aggravated the misery of Hindustan. In 1241, the Mongols reached the center of the Punjab and the beautiful city of Lahore fell into their ruthless claws. In 1245 they advanced to the heights. But they suffered heavy losses and had to retreat. In the last years of Masood Shah's reign, discontent grew more intense and widespread. The Amirs and Malik placed Nasiruddin Mahmud, a younger son of Iltutmish, on the throne on June 10, 1246.